All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we have a report here from Grums over here on Twitter talking about the IGN article that came out a while ago regarding Black Myth Wukong. Now, if you guys missed that particular article, that article was basically talking about how the game looked pretty, how the gameplay looked interesting, but ultimately it was being developed by extremely sexist and misogynist people. That was what Rebecca Valentine, the writer, tried to make it seem as if was happening, but we all came to find out that she purposefully mistranslated a lot what was being said from the developer to try to push a narrative of sexism around Wukong's developer. Well, now she apparently has released a statement talking about this, and of course, instead of apologizing, of course, instead of admitting she was wrong, she decided to do what they always do and double down.
Wow!
Now, I'm not too shocked that she decided to double down because, let's be real, I mean, that's usually what they do. They're not exactly the kind of people to admit they were wrong, right? And every time they are wrong, they try to sneakily delete stuff so that you can't find whatever actually made them wrong in the first place. You know, a lot of people try to tell me, oh, if you're wrong, you should just retract your statements or you should make a follow-up or whatever the case may be. I'm perfectly fine with doing a follow-up, but I'm never going to retract because if I delete stuff, that's going to make it look like I'm trying to hide something. And that's how I view it when people try to delete what they end up putting out there. But listen, I get it. Everybody's different in that regard. Now, with this particular article, it was not about being wrong. It was about the actual person purposefully mistranslating what the developer was saying and purposely putting it out there to push a narrative of sexism. Because again, this all kind of goes together with the Sweet Baby Inc. extortion stuff that's currently making the rounds online. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So the post says IGN releases a statement via the original Black Myth Wukong hit piece author Rebecca Valentine. It fails to address the mistranslated text. It demands developers address her false claims against them, demands the developer she attacked to defend her personally for making those false claims, and then whines that there are no femme-coded characters in the game, whatever that is. You can't make this shit up. Defend me as I attack you, Game Science. I wrote an open reply and pinned it to my feed. You can check it out there. Now, we have the picture here and the report. I'm going to open it up in a new tab so that you guys can read it a little bit better along with me. But it says, about our report from last year. It's basically from the same person, Rebecca Valentine. And it says, last year we published a comprehensive report. And by comprehensive, I mean, you got to be very particular on that. Put your air quotes out in the air. You know what I'm saying? Comprehensive report. Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. On IGN, detailing a number of sexist and inappropriate remarks, aka remarks that she purposely mistranslated to try to push it as sexist, but that's neither here nor there, made by multiple developers of Black Myth Wukong, including those in leadership roles at Game Science. As of the publication of this preview, Game Science has yet to provide any response or statement addressing our report or their past remarks. Now, why would they? Right? I understand. Here's the amazing thing, right? Gaming journalists, they really think like they're someone, right? They think that because they write an article, because they make claims, because they make statements, that automatically means that people have to respond to them. They don't have to respond to you, especially when it's bullshit. They don't have to say anything, right? They can completely ignore you if they so choose. And honestly, you should be ignored, because if you're going out there and you're so desperate to make these people look so bad because they won't pay $7 million for DEI extortion fees, if you're so angry at that you have to make them out to look like sexist by purposely mistranslating what they said from Japanese, or I'm sorry, in this case, Chinese to English, then I mean, why would anybody want to respond to you? Why would they even want to have a discussion with you? They can clearly see, plain as day, where your mindset is. You have already decided that they are public enemy number one for whatever reason in your articles, and why would they want to entertain talking to you after that fact? You guys got to understand, it's just like Kotaku being blacklisted by Nintendo. It's the same exact thing. These fucking gaming journalists, they think that they own the world, and they don't. Just because you write something doesn't mean somebody's got to respond to you. Then it says, like Mitchell, I had the opportunity to see Black Myth Wukong at Summer Game Fest, though my appointment was admittingly a little strange. I was told as part of my invitation that Game Science would have a statement related to the reports of sexism. I arrived at the appointment and saw the game as planned, but when I asked for the promised statement, I was told by a PR representative Game Science is focused on the demo during play days and will only answer questions related to the gameplay. Now, of course, she provides literally zero proof. Okay, zero proof over this company saying that they were going to provide a statement on the sexism. And the sad thing is that you went to go see this game, and the only reason why you went to go see this game in person and took that invitation is because you wanted to get a statement on sexism, and you thought that that was going to be the only way you were going to be able to get it. You don't actually care about the game. You don't care about reporting about the game. You don't care about telling gamers how good or bad the game looks in the current state that it's in. You don't care about that. You only care about a corporation putting out statements against your false claims of sexism. That's what you care about. So when you got trolled, right? If this is actually true, then that means you got trolled. So if you got trolled and then you get mad over that, but the funny thing is you literally troll them all the time with your false claims of sexism. So I mean, you got to understand, like, at some point it's going to come full circle. It's going to come back to you. Then it says Mitchell's preview doesn't need my validation, but for what it's worth, I fully back everything he's written here. Black Myth Wukong looks like it'll be a great game. It's gorgeous with snappy combat, fantastic monster design, and some really interesting boss fights. That is all that matters. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all that should matter to a gamer looking to purchase a video game, to go to a game urinalist and say, hey, what did you think about the game? That's all that fucking matters. Everything else that you're about to talk about means absolutely nothing to most gamers. 99% of gamers don't give a fuck about this nonsense. It's very clear. And the fact that you're trying to consistently and constantly make it into a thing has this kind of energy that is really, it just boils down to notice me senpai. That's really what it is. You want to be noticed so bad, and you want to push this narrative so bad that you're willing to do it at the behest of giving gamers what they actually want when it comes to letting them know about the game. So you yourself admitted the game looks good, the combat looks good, the boss battles look cool and interesting. That's it. That's all that matters. It's an action RPG game. That's it. It's a Dark Souls-like game. That's all that fucking matters in a game like that. Then she says it's also true that several other people who are making it have been making disparaging remarks about women. That's not true. If you read what they said in Japanese with the actual real translations, you will realize that is not true in the slightest, and don't seem to be interested in either retracting their past statements or in supporting the numerous women who are being harassed in online conversations about Black Myth Wukong purely for expressing their discomfort with those statements. Now, women are going to have discomfort with those statements because you yourself made up those statements for them to get triggered over. That's number one. Number two, nobody cares, bro. Like, you are trying to go out there, and for a woman who claims to be so stunning and brave, for a woman who claims to be so independent she needs no man, for someone to be that bad bitch and so strong, it's incredible to me that women with those kind of personalities are constantly looking at other people to validate them in their arguments. Why are you looking at Black Myth Wukong's developers to fight your fight for you? Why do you need them to fight the fight that you have against gamers that you hate so much that you're supposedly talking about? They're giving you shit for talking about Black Myth Wukong. Nobody's giving you shit for talking about the game. Everybody's giving you shit for mistranslating what the person said and calling you out on it, and you don't like it. You're so used to being surrounded by people that just say yes to you, yes, 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 and that's it. They don't ever tell you when you have a bad idea. Well, guess what? What you did was a bad idea. You probably shouldn't have done that. And now you're realizing what happens when information flows a lot more freely now that is not heavily policed, as you guys said on Twitter back in the day. Now people can see the truth, and now you just can't make up some bullshit retractment statement or article to try to run the narrative. You just don't have that power anymore. And we can see the power slipping through your fingers, and you are not happy about it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.